The results were obviously mixed and impacted, like everyone else, via COVID. We obviously are very sensitive to traffic as a road organisation, so the traffic impacts certainly were the key driver of the outcome. Our cost growth was again very low, so we've had our third year in a row of below inflation cost growth. We obviously are very comfortable with the balance sheet. We've got a strong investment grade balance sheet. We worked really hard at the start of the COVID crisis to make sure that we had sufficient liquidity in place. We've got enough liquidity currently in place to take us out at least until December 2021. In fact, it takes us out beyond 2021. We haven't had any breaches in any of our covenants, and we're comfortable with all of our covenant arrangements. And obviously we've been able to continue to pay our distribution as a result, albeit we weren't able to provide specific guidance for FY21, but that's largely just given the uncertainty around traffic, and we saw it in Melbourne with the stage 4 restrictions, just how sensitive our traffic can be to those widespread restrictions. So we thought it would be cautious to not provide specific dollar guidance, but provide guidance that will continue to pay our distribution in line with free cash. Just going back to traffic, it's been really interesting to watch how it's performed. The Queensland assets, where the majority of this team is at, have performed quite well. Obviously Airport Link, and we've got the same issue in Sydney with the Eastern Distributor, and to a smaller extent the Western Link, or the western section of CityLink in Melbourne. But those assets that are sensitive to airport traffic have been hit pretty hard. They're down about 25%. Now, that's obviously not as bad as what you would have seen on a lot of the European toll roads, so we've been quite resilient in that regard. And again, it's just been a lot of questioning around our sensitivity to airport traffic as well as CBD traffic. And by our current estimates, we think about 5% of our traffic across the group would be sensitive to airport traffic, and a similar sort of number, maybe a fraction more, would be sensitive to a scenario where the world didn't go back to an office. Now, I can see that you guys are largely back, and our Brisbane office is busy and Sydney is busy, so we don't see that as being a long-term issue, despite the fact that a lot more people will take advantage of the flexibility arrangements. But again, we think that that's very manageable given it's a smaller portion of our portfolio. The truck traffic has been really resilient and quite surprisingly resilient. Taking stage 4 restrictions in Melbourne at the moment, which are quite severe, as I'm sure you know, we've got commercial traffic down around about 20%, and heavy vehicles, which are a class within our commercial traffic, are only down about 5 or 6%. So again, they've held up really well. A lot of it is just obviously the online shopping sales has somewhat cushioned it, but a lot of it is just the resilience of the commercial operations, and obviously a lot of our trucks on our road are providing essential services, which again, you don't get to test these things until you go through a crisis like this. So it's been interesting to be part of it.